Okay, so this is going on now to the second round of your granny square. All right, so I've just picked off where we've come from, and because it is the first cluster of the round, what we are going to do is our usual, which is chain 2. Now, what you would have seen was I had trouble actually finding the top of this the last time. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put either a stitch marker, or I don't have a stitch marker near me, so I'm just going to put a piece of yarn in here again, and that will help me to find this at the end of this round. Okay, now what you'll see is that the cluster looks slightly different at the front and at the back. Okay, some people will prefer to turn and work that way. Your work will just look slightly different. There's no right or wrong way. I personally will show you how I do it, but it's up to yourself. Your granny square, your crochet, you do you. So now we've got the first treble done, yarn over, and this time we're actually going to go into this gap which is left with the chain 2. So we're going to yarn over, through the 2, yarn over and through. Now there will be a bit of a twist, but what you can do is just tease it out a wee bit and then do your third part of the cluster. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next chain 2 space. Do not do any chains to separate this cluster from the one you're about to do. That helps to leave your granny square a bit tighter, which is very useful to keep it reasonably tight for making things like handbags or even clothing. So we're going to yarn over and we're going into this, what's known as the chain 2 space. Yarn over, 3 loops, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 2, yarn over, keep going into the chain 2 space, okay, so now we have that cluster done. What we're going to do now is we're going to chain 2. This is going to make your next corner up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work another cluster of 3 into that same space. So again, yarn over, into the same space, yarn over, yarn over, yarn over, so now you can see that's your corner made. And now we're going to go into the next chain 2 space. Remember, we don't do any chains in between here. So we're going to yarn over into the next chain 2 space. Remember your tension and don't pull it too tight. You don't want it to look like a saucer. 1, 2, 3. And remember, we're going to pair up this cluster with the second one for this corner. So again, chain 1, chain 2, and work another cluster of 3 trebles into the same chain 2 space. There's 2. And 3. And now look what's happening. We're starting to get our square. So again, we're now going to work into the next chain 2 space. So find it, 2 loops, 1 loop, yarn over, 3 loops in your hook, yarn over, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, 1, yarn over, in, pull up, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 3. Now remember what comes next? Chain 2. Yarn over, and there we go. See what's happening? And now what we're going to do is we're going to make the final cluster, which will pair up with the first one that you made. So again, remember, no chains, straight into the chain 2 space. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, into the chain 2 space, pull up, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, 1 loop, yarn over, into the chain 2 space, yarn over, so now we've got that treble done. And remember, because we are going to join these 2 clusters together to form the corner, we are going to chain 2. And what we are going to do this time is we are going to slip stitch. So remember what we did with the stitch marker. Go under both legs of the V, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this out a bit just so that you can see. Okay, so remember, it will take a wee bit of working, but there you go. I'll take this out. That is the startings of your granny square.